Hey, what up, everybody? Steviebreech coming to you. This is a video I'm going to be making on the current state of the TNA product. I made a video the other day, wondering if Hulk Hogan was going to stay or was he going to go. Now it looks as if the tapings are all over with. The Bound for Glory match between Hogan and Sting is back on. They have added the stipulation that if Sting wins, Dixie Carter regains control of the company. Eric Bischoff and Hogan are out. Right now, it looks like that's sort of like a kayfabe way about it, but it is well known that the contracts of Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan run up in October, and there are question marks if TNA is going to cough up the money to re-sign these guys and keep them around in the company. Spike TV is said to love Eric Bischoff being around and loving his ideas, helping the company grow. They have started to put the building blocks together towards building something, but honestly, they just haven't lived up to the hype that they had when they first signed on. It looked like that TNA was going to be challenging the WB, and right now they are nowhere in their ballpark. They seem to be a company that sort of likes to say they are the anti-WB. They do not have a PG rating like they do. They like to cuss and swear a lot on their show on Impact. A lot to the point to where you can just tell they're just cussing and swearing just to be cussing and swearing, which in my opinion, doesn't make you cool. If you throw out a cuss word, every once in a while, like every couple of months, maybe it makes the situation look real. And you're like, wow, Kurt Angle is really pissed off. But when you have guys like Mr. Anderson, I've said this millions of times, just saying asshole out there, just to say the word asshole, it just loses all of its appeal. It doesn't make you want to mark out for it. I definitely wouldn't want to buy a T-shirt that has it on there. Never really made any sense to me why you want to walk around with a T-shirt that said that on there, but they sold that for a while. This is the company that believes that older is better. They like to call themselves the anti-WWE. They stand for wrestling and what is real in the world. Yet they will only push the over 40 guys and the guys that have been kicked out of the WWE, the guys that they don't want anymore. They bring in for the new attention and things that come off that, like just um they keep these guys around like it matters, but you can tell the only reason why they're there is because of their name value and everything like that. When they could be going out and making their own new stars or pushing the guys that they've had since the beginning, who I guess they don't feel like have any name value at all, such as like Samoa Joe, who hopefully is on his way out of that company. There's no way in the world this 2 years losing streak pretty much is going anywhere except for him leaving. Hopefully he's already turned in his notice and walked towards the door. If AJ had any state of mind, he'd be getting the hell out of there as well. When Hogan and Bischoff arrived, they were finally just crowning AJ as the champion. He'd been champion before, but since then TNA had become a real wrestling organization, you can say, and they had Kurt Angle there, so they had some sort of believability to it. It wasn't just like, oh, there's TNA. It's like, oh wow, TNA. Wow, AJ Styles is the champion of TNA. It really meant something. His first title reign, when he got there, they tried to turn him into Ric Flair, and AJ Styles is not Ric Flair. He will never have the character of him. He's a country boy. He's a family guy. He loves his wife and kids, and he likes living in Georgia, so on and so forth. He's not going to be hitting the town and running down the jet airplanes naked and stuff like that. That's just not who AJ Styles is. And right now they're pushing the Jeff Hardy reunion tour, where they like to talk about the big letdown that Jeff had, and that they're trying to push him as a face. He's trying to get the not really. They're probably not really a sympathy factor, but they're trying to go by that. He's trying to get the forgiveness of everybody that's in the company, whether they're a face or whether they're a heel. And I don't know. They like to show both sides, of everybody. Like even if they are heel, these guys are telling Jeff, that he needs to get fixed up, he needs to get right. But then, they did a camera thing last night with Kurt Angle, where Kurt Angle cut a promo on him, pretty much saying that he was scared of him and so much and so forth. And I didn't really understand that. I mean, to me, if you're gonna at least talk about this situation, you need to talk about this situation for real. You need to at least say the reason why he's walking around and asking for forgiveness. Obviously, if you read the dirt sheets and you're some sort of a smart fan, or if you just ordered the Victory Road pay-per-view or you saw it somewhere or somehow, you know what they're talking about. He was fucked up when he came to the ring. His court case is finally over and done with, and he's got to go serve his 10 days in jail and do his community service and pay his fine. He's going out there and he's asking for forgiveness for the guy he used to be when they should just man up. And I mean, if they don't have a PG rating and they don't want these guys to they want to have some sort of real characteristics to them where you actually feel like they're one of us. Say that he was fucked up, he was on drugs, and say he's over and he's done with it. If I was TNA, right now, it's not the most PG thing to do, but they don't like to say they're PG. The Hardy name right now is actually worth something to wrestling as a heel. There are honestly a lot of wrestling fans out there that think the Hardy family is out there to tear down wrestling. They believe that you know, they're putting a real bad smear. Maybe not even the Hardy name. Maybe the whole Hardy clan with Shane Helms and all the arrests and court cases and DUIs and motorcycle crashes, this, that, and the other. I believe that there's a lot more money in Jeff Hardy if he embraces this and becomes some sort of monster heel. In his real life, he can put this stuff behind him, but if he was a real heel and he embraced this stuff, I think the people would really get behind hating this guy because honestly, I don't think there are a lot of wrestling fans out there that know that what he really did that are really going to forgive this guy. I believe anybody who looks at these Hardy Boys, at least Matt's going to rehab, but even after he completes rehab, which Jeff never did, are never really going to forgive this guy. They're just going to be sitting there, hopefully every day, refreshing the page where the sheets are, guessing that they're going to see the next Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy arrest or the next fuck up or, they relapse, this, that, and the other. There's people out there actually rooting for this that aren't the big fans of the Hardys. And so all they're really doing is, by him going out there and saying they're sorry, is trying to prey on the younger fans that they have that haven't seen Jeff Hardy, whose parents or brothers or something out there just haven't had the heart to tell tell these kids, why he hasn't been on TV and why he's gone. And hopefully these kids are looking at TV trying to figure out why they're even, apologizing to each other, because it makes no sense to anybody who doesn't have the information in front of them. But the whole, TNA thing, I think, needs to be flipped over and repackaged again because it just doesn't make any sense right now. They're still running the Immortal feud versus Fortune, and guys are coming in, guys are coming out, and the only good thing that came out of this is the push of Gunner, which now seems like it's at a spot where it's over. They're coming up to their WrestleMania of the year. Lockdown always gets more buys, but they like to treat Bound for Glory like it's WrestleMania. And it's a bad pay-per-view that is going to be main evented by Sting versus Hogan in a match that nobody wants to see. I think there's only one way to save Hulk Hogan's career, for him to go out the right way, but I think I'll save that for another video. But this is the pay-per-view that I only think is really going to get the normal minimum amount of TNA buys. They don't really ever announce them, but they're sort of guests out there. I would say 20 to 25,000 buys is all this pay-per-view is going to get. My buddy Danny, I almost called him Domino, but my buddy Danny's going to this pay-per-view. I just feel sorry for him. When we bought these tickets, I was really excited for him because this is the biggest pay-per-view of the year for these guys, and I thought he was going to get a better show. And it just seems like they put the names up on the dartboard and they threw darts at it and just try to piece together this whole thing. Like, I really have hopes for Kurt Angle going up against Bobby Roode. I don't think there's any chance in the world they're going to put the title on Bobby Roode, especially in his first time going for the title. But they sure have made him look nice, but I don't think they're going to put the title on him until the beer money thing's all over with, which means he's going to have to go back down to the mid-card, win his feud against James Storm, but because this is TNA, more than likely by the time he's over with his feud, they're going to forget that they even had plans to make this guy a main eventer. So I have no hopes for TNA. I have no idea where they're going, but it's the only number 2 wrestling company in the world. Hopefully ROH can get their stuff together. I don't remember if I said this in the video or not, but TNA is a company that likes to push the older guys when ROH is the guy that likes to make their own stars. They like to have a scouting division where they go out and they find guys and bring them in. It's always a fresh crop of talent that when you get to see guys, you get to see moves and things you've never seen before. So if you have a chance, I know it's not on all over, and you might have to go look at it on the ROH website, but make sure you check out their new show when it launches, because I sure hope that there's a way that they can become the #2 wrestling company in the world, because TNA is not even really trying right now.